And immediately, like when I say this, she gets a little standoffish and I'm like, oh no, we cannot lose this hitch. Like, she pulled over just for us. We have to get back to the trail. I'm going to tell a story about a hitch that we had while we were hiking the Appalachian Trail in the section of 2015. And so here we go. All right, so we were in Tennessee and we're hiking through the Smoky Mountains, and it's somebody's bright idea to go down into Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which I was totally against because I've heard horror stories about how hard it is to get out of Gatlinburg to hitch back up to the AT. Long story short, we somehow managed to get down into Gatlinburg by a hitch, and we did all the things we needed to do. We took a shower at the NOC, we got a bunch of food at Mellow Mushroom, which is in Gatlinburg, and we did a bunch of other things that hikers do while they're in town. So we had a big group of us, and we were done with everything. We decided we needed to go back up to the trail before it started getting dark. So there were two girls, Cruise Control and 5, that were with us, and they started hitching at the section of going back into the national park, and they got a hitch. Let it be known that Darwin and I were trying to get a hitch before everybody. That's very important. So 5 and Cruise Control got a hitch within like 2 minutes of throwing their thumbs out. So we were super jealous, and they drove away and we're happy. And then there were 4 of us left. Rube, one of our good friends that we were hiking with, and Cider, another good friend, were trying to hitch together because it's easier to hitch if you're in smaller groups. So Rube had a kilt on, so we can only describe this as maybe they thought there were 2 girls instead of a guy and a girl, and they got a hitch maybe 5 minutes later after the first 2. So they got a hitch in a red convertible, we'll never forget it, and we watched them drive off happy and waving behind. So then there were 2 of us, Darwin and myself. And again, we were trying to hitch before anybody else was. So we were trying to hitch, throwing out thumbs, no one's stopping for us. It's starting to get dark, we're starting to get anxious. I'm starting to get a little pissed because I didn't want to go down in Gatlinburg anyways, and we're having all this trouble. We're throwing our thumbs out, people are driving by, they're flipping us off, they're calling and yelling names at us, or they'll pull over and we're like, yes, we got a hitch. And then they're like, oh no, sorry, we're just trying to take a picture with this national park sign, which we were standing next to. So we were super bummed, getting anxious. Finally, a car pulls over and I like run up to the car and I duck my head in before they have an opportunity to leave. And I look in and there's like this girl that looks to be maybe 18 or 19 years old. She's pretty young. And she was like, hey, are you trying to get a ride? And we're like, yes, yes, we are. Please let us in your car. Trying not to be creepy. And immediately, like when I say this, she gets a little standoffish and I'm like, oh no, we cannot lose this hitch. Like, she pulled over just for us. We have to get back to the trail. It's starting to get dark. So I'm like, hey, you know, like trying to explain what we're doing and why we look like hiker trash and why we smell bad. And she is asking us these questions like, do we have a criminal history? And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? We're literally like hiking the Appalachian Trail. No, like we really just want to get back to the trail. So then she is like, well, what are you guys doing out there? And we're like, we're hiking the Appalachian Trail. Do you not know about this? And she's like, no, I don't know about this. I just pulled over. And I'm like, gosh, like what can we do to prove to you that we're not like mass murderers and we just need to get in your car to get up to this trail? So I'm like, you know what, we're just trying to get back up on this trail. I keep on explaining this to her, and then she's like, well, can I see your IDs? And Darwin and I kind of look at each other, we're like, yes, because we're that desperate. So we hand over our IDs. What she's looking at, I don't really know. And then she still seems a little hesitant and is asking us questions that are on our IDs. And then she's like, do you have any weapons? And we're like, no. Oh, yes, we do. We have pocket knives. So she kind of is like, oh, you have pocket knives? And we're like, we cut cheese and rope and tape with them. Please let us into your car. So we hand over our pocket knives because she asked for them, and we're that desperate. We're like, yes, take our pocket knives, please. And then she still is not like 100% sure about this. So I'm like, look, the only extra weight that I have besides food is I have $5 and some birth control pills. Like, that's literally all I have. We really just need to get back to the AT. So finally she's like, no, I don't need any of that, but I'll take the $5 and I'm gonna hold on to your pocket knives until you guys get back on trail. And we're like, yes. So we throw all of our stuff in the trail, or in the car. We get in her car and she starts driving away, and she's still like very stiff and very panicky. So I sit up front because Darwin is like bearded and kind of does look like a murderer sometimes when he's hiking. So I'm trying to talk to her and kind of calm her down. And she immediately asks me if she's gonna get in trouble for picking up hitchhikers. And I'm like, well, if you don't tell, we won't tell. And she was like, okay, I'm cool. And then she starts really asking us other questions like, what do we do in our 9-to-5 lives? What brought us out to the AT? Was asking us questions about the AT all along the way back up the mountain to the trail. And by the end of it, we get to the parking lot. So she successfully took us back to the trailhead. And by the end of it, like, we were almost like long friends with her. She was totally calm. She finally admitted to us that she never picked up hitchhikers, and we just were like, oh, we could have never guessed that. And again, like, it was kind of like a stressful situation at first, but it ended up being really cool because she thought a little bit more about picking up hikers. Again, she was asking us questions a lot about like how she can help the trail, how she can help hikers. And I think we left a pretty good impression because, you know, we didn't murder anybody. She gave us back our IDs and she did give us back our pocket knives, but again, she totally kept my $5. So that was pretty funny. So that is a shortened version of the 20 question hitch, which is on my blog, Snuggles on the Trail, like the Snuggles diary. So you can totally check out the extended version of that and all the events that led up to it. So next time you're in Gatlinburg and you're coming off the AT, think twice before you hitch down, and hopefully you can get a hitch back up.
I like it, I dig it, I want more of it.